Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Phillip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I'm Darren, stranded again with my fellow co-host. Which one of us is the Red Angel? We're going to find out tonight. I'm joined by Phillip and Daniel, and we have a special guest. Maybe she's the Red Angel. Amy, welcome to our planet. I noticed a slight gravitational, temporal, timey-wimey thing when you showed up. I'm not saying that means you're the Red Angel, but it could be. It's very topical.
Thank you, Darren. It's very exciting to be here and to talk about the Red Angel. This is a super pivotal episode. I'm very excited to talk about it.
It is. Not since 11001001 has a title captivated more people than the Red Angel. What do you think, Phillip?
Well, I was just going to say, before we get started, Amy has a million things to talk about. You have Kate Mulgrew stuff to talk about. You have Discovery uniform stuff to talk about.
So what I hear is that Phillip and Daniel have foregone and given up their time.
We've yielded
that they
the
would
floor.
Normally share what they were doing with Star Trek this last week, and we're giving it all to Amy because of her.
Yeah,
awesome
tell me,
gift.
because I don't. What's this Kate Mulgrew stuff? I don't even know. I haven't heard anything.
So I am assisting Kate with her new book, which is called How to Forget. It will be out on May 21st. I'm helping her organize some of her events and helping run a little bit on the social side as well. We're hopefully going to be announcing book tour dates very soon. I know a lot of fans are very eager to see her and plan to see her. She will, of course, be in Las Vegas for Star Trek Las Vegas, and I will be hosting a book discussion with her. And we are also looking into dates in Ireland. So if we have any people in the UK or Western Europe area who can hop on a quick flight to Ireland, which are very easy over there. It's like $50 to hop on a flight in some places over to Ireland. And I'm really pumped to be working with her. She is so cool. And she has a new series, which I'm now allowed to talk about, called Mr. She booked Mr. Mercedes, season 3. It is based on a Stephen King book. And she will be playing kind of a pivotal role to the main character, who is a serial killer.
Ooh.
Yeah, and a younger guy. I think there's a little cradle robbing going on.
Ooh.
It'd be interesting. Well, we always love seeing Kate on screen, whether it's as a lunchroom lady or captaining a starship.
Lunchroom lady? I think Red would have a problem with that.
That's as close as I could get, having not watched the show.
No, it's
so
okay.
We're lucky we got.
Yeah.
She's a lunchroom lady.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't accent
Russian,
properly.
Russian. No, she's Red is not in the kitchen anymore, but that's how she started out. So you're in the right direction.
All I got is promo posters.
But her name
That's
is
all I gotta
Red,
go off of.
and we're talking about the Red Angel.
Oh.
And we're also talking about Discovery. And Amy, have you worn a Discovery uniform?
I have recently worn a Discovery.
It's a little on the nose, Phillip.
Oh, I see
We'll
what
run
you
with
did
that.
there, Phillip. Clever.
I'm
I
cruising
was
for a segue.
very fortunate to be put in touch with Volente Designs, who recently released a Discovery series of jackets that is fully licensed. And we all know that CBS and Star Trek are not very liberal with their licensing. So it is a quality product. It really is. And Willow and David Volente design and make everything. Everything's made to order. They do have some preset sizing, but they can also do custom sizing. And I did a photo shoot with David was our token male. And Emily, who is a stand-in for Stamets with her fabulous super pale hair
Hmm.
and pale countenance, and Angelique Roche, who she works for Marvel. She works for Black Girl Nerds. She's a former attorney. She used to be with the Ms. Foundation. She does a lot. And Angelique is the one who said, "Oh, who would be perfect? Who would be the Tilly to my Burnham? That would
Sure.
be Amy. That would be Amy." And I said, "Ah, I will love to do it." So it was a really fun day in New York. We went to the Oculus Rift downtown by the World Trade Center, and we did some really cool shots. If you haven't been in that building, you should Google it. It's got a very futuristic Star Trek vibe.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool thing about. I mean, it's obvious, but still, I mean, it's not obvious that with that photo shoot and capturing the characters, because I mean, the characters themselves are diverse in body shape, and so, and you all basically echoed those characters' shapes. But I mean, of course, then you're echoing that design obviously is for everyone, and so I thought that was
Yes,
pretty
and
cool.
they had different colors in the zippers, which I may not be immediately apparent when you first glance at the photo, but I had the Tilly's like, more yellow,
Hmm.
like yellowish, like gold, and
Bronze, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, and the bronze
Right.
and the blue, the silver for
Mhm.
Stamets, and
So you're pre-command track Tilly. So
That's
you're
right.
yes,
switched
and
over
I have to
yet.
say that the jackets have like a super cool couple super cool features, like the way the collars button so that they stand up, the way the Starfleet uniforms, are kind of stiff and give you that really crisp look. And they also made a little pocket right where the badge goes, so you can drop your magnet right into this little. It's exactly the
Ooh.
size of the magnet. You just drop the magnet in, and then you can
20th century technology is
The
catching up.
world's smallest pocket protector.
It's real. It's just the perfect tiny size for one of the QMX badge magnets, and I thought this is great because there's also an interior pocket like there would be in like a men's jacket, to put stuff in, like if you wanted to pull out like your pen or pull out, now probably your phone, but there's that little extra, just a couple, like a bunch of little extras, and I know there's a higher price point on the jackets that some fans may not love because they retail for around $300. But they're super durable, and honestly, I plan to wear mine on stage because it gets cold in the Rio, and it gets cold. I am often cold when I attend certain conventions because unless you're like on the show floor with everybody, the individual rooms tend to be chilly on purpose, either because it's the dead of summer, or because they just like to jack up that AC.
or you're slowly losing life support, and
That's
Bringing
true.
it back. He's bringing it back.
But
That's
yes.
right. Jackets and Kate Mulgrew aren't all we're talking about this week on City Alpha, but that was good to hear. No, we're going to be talking, as we said, about the aforementioned Red Angel.
you've all been waiting
but,
for
that
it.
doesn't. But it doesn't happen till the end of the episode, so we're actually going to take a little while to get there. But first,
It's okay. I
we're
have
going.
my notes. I'm ready.
So let's talk about Saru foregoing the traditional bagpipes and instead singing his own funeral
Dirge,
I
yeah.
guess, for Ariam as she was torpedoed away, not into Genesis. Well, I guess actually technically we'll get back to that. So, but
There are many.
what do you guys think of
theories.
the way we opened this up with a, again we've. Okay, so Amy, what are your thoughts with the one episode for Ariam? As we've kind of discussed this last week, but this kind of is wrapping up her storyline, and we all said we wanted more, and we wish there was more than just that one deep dive into her character. What were your thoughts leading into this week?
I also I liked what they had given us previously. It wasn't much, but she kind of was like an ever-present different face on the bridge that was nice to see. I like her. I'm sad that we only got to see really one episode. But I also understand that with a supporting cast of that size, not to mention that there is a great deal going on with the regular cast, that they might have chosen to narratively use her in this way. I understand it. It's like I said, I'm all for exploring as many characters as possible. But
That's true.
I really liked seeing her, like you said, with the girl squad. I liked seeing her interacting with her fellow comrades because we don't really see them being social that much. Like we'll
That's
like
true. I
we-
mean, we have the party deck from season one.
Yes, so we have that
which,
party.
you know,
And, you see, like, in season one, we saw, Burnham and Tilly were, running and working out. Or, it's always very, like, duty focused or, like, goal focused. And it's kind of nice to just see them, like, kind of chatting around the table, and having Ariam
That's true.
enjoy that. So I did quite like it. I think she will be missed. I liked what Detmer said about, when I had to become augmented with when she had her injury to her eye, that she kind of made her feel like she was not missing a piece of herself. She just, yes, this happened to you, but you can rise above it, and there's something that can help.
Yeah.
They didn't exactly say the extent of her injuries when she and her fiance or her husband had been shot. I guess they'd been shot down, or a shuttlecraft had failed.
Shuttle crash, yeah. But
Yeah.
obviously something big.
Something
'cause,
catastrophic.
Like, yeah, full body prosthesis at that point. So
Yeah, so that's an interesting to know that that's like kind of where the technology had evolved to at that point, because I don't think, like, medically we don't get to talk about that very often, and it's cool, especially when you see stuff like, now where we're 3D printing, limbs for people, and like
Hands and limbs, yeah.
3D printing, and I know, Darren, you do a lot of design with 3D printing and building and all that, so it's kind of cool to see like what they've.
yeah, there's a lot of great initiatives that people donate their 3D printers and their time to create really inexpensive but really functional arms for children, because with children they're always growing.
Yeah.
So something that's fitted for them, they're going to outgrow within a year, and then they need another one. So
Yeah,
no,
I have a friend whose daughter lost most of her foot. Or it's her granddaughter, actually. Her granddaughter lost a big part of her foot in a lawnmower accident, and she she has had several, like, she was real small. She had a little small shoe with like a little pink sneaker on it. And then, but she's getting bigger, so she needs a bigger prosthetic each time. And she calls it her super stomper, which I think is really cute.
Aw.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think seeing what Ariam, kind of went through, and the way that she kind of evolved to still become a join Starfleet and become a Starfleet officer. It seems like after that, right? She became a Starfleet officer after her augmentation.
I think it would have been, I don't know. I don't know why. Stop being negative, Phillip. But I guess, like, it always has to be about Michael, right? Like, Michael gives the speech. I'm like, did you, like, know her? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel
They've shown her, interacting.
Well, I just feel
obviously,
like
but
it would have been cool if it had just been Space Girl Squad. Like, give them the spot. Like, why is it? It.
I mean, I think they always have to bring it back to the main character. That's just something that
I
Cedric
guess.
does, and that's
'Cause,
what
like-
most. I mean, like, even on, like, Grey's Anatomy, Meredith Grey doesn't, have every single thing happen to her, although way too much has happened to her. We won't talk about it. But I mean, she will still comment on something that is not necessarily directly impacting her.
Because I'm like a.
you're saying I need to start watching Star Trek as if it's Grey's Anatomy.
Well, I think
No,
that's
Okay.
no.
Discovery.
Grey's-
But anyway, because I was thinking from like a structural standpoint, I get Pike is still the new guy in some ways, so like if he doesn't do it, that's fine. But then Saru, that would be his job, and then I know he gave the song.
Well,
and that's-
Saru sang, and we
Yeah.
didn't see Pike commenting on her really. so
yeah,
that
he's
was-
still the guest. He's
we
still
saw
like
Detmer. We saw, there were a couple.
right. I mean, I feel like it didn't have the tenor of like the Yar, where everyone could be like, "What I learned from Ariam was that,"
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, but it was good. It was a good
Well,
start.
Yar is
and-
actually a really good parallel,
yeah.
because she didn't last that long for the viewer.
Right.
But as you like, the supporting crew has clearly been with her for, Ariam's had more episodes than Tasha Yar did.
This is
far
true.
less
She's had a
lines.
season in. Yes.
So I'm trying to think again. This is only I'm the one who cares about this stuff. So because
There'll be no control and no Arium.
So it was intimated that Ariam was the second officer. That was pre Michael has rank again. So and again, they don't care about the rank structure, so why should I? But I do. So does that mean Michael is now the second officer, or I don't know? So like these are
I
things
thought
I
that
We're
would.
jumping to
Michael
the
has-
end when the new lady walks in.
Yeah.
I thought that Michael has been kind of like on the same par as Saru since Pike showed up.
Yeah.
They didn't like demote Saru. He was only
he's
acting captain.
acting to the captain, or I'm not. Yeah.
So, all right, but after this, memorial service, which is good again to tie off kind of that storyline, because we got a lot that we're going to be talking about now.
Well, quick question,
especially about Michael.
Arium, because it comes up later in the episode, and I didn't understand it, so maybe y'all can. So they delete her body, which I'm not exactly sure why they did it.
Well, no, they deleted her memory.
But why?
She had already uploaded her memories to whatever repository that she used.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they just wiped the physical hard drive of her body.
Well, is it just like you don't want to turn in your iPhone with your stuff on it? I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I think that's literally it. Like
Okay.
that, if someone were to find a high rankings, the mind of a high-ranking Starfleet officer in space that has stuff on it.
Because the line is later. Because I it makes sense that they uploaded it, but then there's a line halfway through the episode. There's a line halfway through the episode where Tilly's like, "Oh yeah, and we deleted Arium, so we don't have that information." I'm like, well, "Did you save it?" I mean,
well, but didn't they say that her downloaded memories were taking up the entire computer core because she had taken on all of the sphere data?
Yeah, I think that's what I read from that.
Okay, because it just seemed like when Tilly was like, "Yeah, what do you do?" I'm like, well, you probably shouldn't have done that then. I mean,
I thought it was that they were deleting Arium's onboard memory because of control was inside of her.
Right.
I thought it was
I don't think they were deleting her onboard memory. I think because she had. Remember how she was going through and picking keep, get rid of, keep.
Yeah, because you only had so
Right.
much space or whatever.
And that's being stored on the computer.
I think the keep ones are still there.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever she got rid of is gone, and then they took whatever they could.
It was only the memories
including-
that brought her joy, I believe is how it
Yeah.
works, and got rid of every.
Yeah, the Marie Kondo method of memory saving. But I think that's what I think that they couldn't keep all of the data from the sphere. Yeah. Plus, wouldn't it have been the second time that they had all of the data from the sphere, or a lot of it? So that's a lot of.
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah. So we get a briefing room scene as all the major players are trying to figure out what's going on. We get a lot of exposition that it's the sphere data. I mean,
is there?
it's kind of what we were saying. I mean, our theory of, or at least I felt I had explained it a couple times last week, but that the time traveling, AI was wanting to take control and the sphere data to evolve. And so you got some time travel, and then everything comes down to it being all about this project Daedalus, which I guess we probably should have used that title in another spot again, but that's just here.
Maybe this episode, and then the next one could have been Red Angel. But anyway,
Yeah, I wrote down the quote that Pike said, which is that even though they destroyed the station and had any of the ships that may have been affected examined and purged of the virus, that the AI could have been sent off the station, dormant for now, but could return at any time. So,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
even in
Skynet,
this episode.
basically.
Who knows?
Yeah.
because well, I don't want to interrupt your.
it's
flow,
like
Darren.
it's like a looming threat that will kind of backburnering slightly while we deal with the more immediate Red Angel situation.
Right.
But of course,
It's obviously gone off to create the Borg, right?
Well, that's the theory.
Just
That's the
kidding.
theory.
God,
just kidding.
please.
I'm just kidding.
No, don't kid. That's the theory.
I will quit.
That's honestly the theory.
That will be the end point for me. I will be done.
You need to learn to embrace the synthetic, Daniel.
Is Arium the new queen
Oh,
then? Or
man.
they take her body and they make
Yes.
it?
I could.
Yes, Arium.
I could see them doing it, honestly. I wouldn't say that it would be the best thing ever, but we don't know the Borg's origin. It's kind of murky.
So then we cut to Dr. Colbert. I mean, is he still a doctor? Is he practicing?
Hey,
I don't know. He's
that reminds me
kind
of one point I wanted to mention.
I'm sure there's several.
There's a
for it.
lot of points I want to mention, but specifically, this is related to both Dr. Culber and the memorial scene.
Right.
Culber and Spock, this entire episode, including in the memorial scene, are in just black leather hanging out, like just chilling. First of all,
Oh, I love that it's like Culver's in his like 2019 club outfit.
I know he's just wearing a GQ suit. I'm like, that's
He
your.
looks super swag.
No, he looks-
It makes no sense.
No, it makes no sense. I'm like, yes, you look. Is that because Wilson Cruz either has two looks? It's either swank or shirt off. You got to choose those
Yeah,
two.
I'm here for both of them. So it's fine.
It's like, Wilson, we got to wear our costumes. He's like, I'm just wearing what I brought in. Sorry.
I'm just saying that both of those characters are still in Starfleet. Presumably, I don't know if they're supposed to wear.
Well, I guess
Burnham
one's on
was
medical
off
leave,
duty.
one's on personal leave.
but,
I guess.
but even on
Yeah.
leave,
And there's no dress uniform. No one else is dressed up any
they can still
spiffier
wear
than
a
normal.
uniform.
Is there a? I mean, they
Look,
they
one's
could
a
wear the
fugitive,
version
and
of,
one
like,
is
the Picard,
sportacular.
Like, rap shirt.
There-
Like, is that what?
The scene is everybody on the ship is in the hangar bay, and there are only two people wearing black leather, and it just.
Would you like them to just be wearing disco T-shirts, Daniel?
Yeah, they
Would
just
that
have to
make
be
it
wearing
better?
their disco workout gear.
Wilson's like, I thought this was a funeral. I wore a black suit. I mean, what are you all?
With an open.
What is wrong with all of you?
With an open collar there, yeah.
Well, if he's not
look,
practicing medicine, it doesn't necessarily make sense for him to be in a.
yeah, it's the
medical
West Coast. They
uniform.
don't wear ties there on the
No, they
ship.
don't.
Well, originally it was going to be open torpedo, but then they decided.
But then they removed her brain, and it wouldn't have been appropriate.
yeah.
I really,
Although that was kind
I
of cool. We
liked-
got to see more of her
Yeah.
insides, like what
Oh,
she was
boy.
made of.
I liked seeing the scan, and I saw someone. I think it was it the director or somebody had tweeted it and was like, "Look at this cool image that we created of Arium, so we could kind of explore all of it in one image and give you guys something to kind of ponder over."
Yeah, no, I like that. But so back in the Doctorville, we learn, hey guys, well, how many minutes in? Where it doesn't matter, but we know who the Red Angel is. It's Michael, 100% sure. Genetic code, and
Run titles.
I had a moment where I was like, oh,
You're like 5 minutes in.
Okay.
Okay.
that's
Yeah, they
that's-
just dropped it. I was like,
Yeah. And then they were like 100% sure from the genetic level, and I was like, okay. I mean, that door shut.
I wrote this
but
down.
Dan,
I watched this. No, this made me so upset. I
he's
watched
getting worked up. He's worked up, you
the
guys.
second.
I'm getting there, but
Oh,
silently.
we knew this was coming. We've been planning for this for 3 episodes, so we're
The
ready.
second time I watched this episode, I literally watched the entire episode with this context understood. And they specifically say, and again, I know maybe I shouldn't. Whatever they said.
Don't give them a break,
They-
Daniel. They're the
Or-
writers. They better
get
do
paid
it
money
right.
to do this. They said the bioneural scan is 100% the same. That's what they said. Okay.
They did say that, and then I was
Not
like,
50%.
Not because if it was DNA, that would be 50%. If it's actually
Yeah.
a scan of your brain, it's going to be.
Oh, I see what you're
It's
saying.
going to be
Yeah,
way
yeah.
further apart than that. But anyways, not only did they mention it in this scene, but Dr. Culber specifically says, "I went over these scans. There's no possible way they faked them. It's 100% true and it's 100% correct.
Yeah.
These are
You lied.
these
But
are
we'll
the
get to that.
same people."
Are these the same people who scanned Ash in
Fox?
season 1?
Yeah.
And then
He's totally human.
and then
100%.
Culber's like, you know what? I did this other scan like a year later, and you're totally Klingon. I don't know.
So
Do
frustrating.
they not do that one? Okay.
And it's all to set up the reveal at the end, but it doesn't pay off. It's not even worth the pay. What happens?
I think what they could have done was say it is a whatever the percentage that you are.
It has your
matched with-
genetic makeup
genetic
or something.
It is a
like a more
96%
vague word.
chance.
Well, don't even put percentage in. Just say it's got Michael's genetic makeup.
Based
and
on
like, that's
Starfleet
enough to
records,
tell me,
it matches
Yeah.
one Michael Burnham.
right.
Yeah.
But if well, maybe her mother's situation was
A clone.
classified because of.
I don't
Well,
know.
it could be classified if she worked on Section 31.
Oh boy, that
Yeah,
happens.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't gotten to that yet, but
Well, here's
We're not
but
there.
yes,
here's,
no,
here's my. It's not a rant. It's just this is my challenge, not a problem. The whole episode was, okay, the Red Angel's Michael, right? We're just okay. That's what we're. And so
as of this time, code,
exactly,
yes.
yeah. And so the whole premise of the episode. Sorry, I know you're going to get into this, but the whole premise of the episode is we want to capture the Red Angel, and the whole episode I'm going. Why?
Yep.
Because why? And everyone's serious about it, and I'm like, why? Why? Because, and again, maybe it's because I'm.
Because Section 31 said we can't have a time
Why
traveling
are you listening
being. I'm
to
just saying
section
that's what they're saying.
31? Why every episode, anyway, I mean, I'm not going to anyway, this is
I mean, literally everything the Red Angel's done has
But no,
been
but
helpful.
even section
hey,
section 31 in this episode admits that. They say this is you from the future and you're trying to prevent the destruction of the galaxy. And for some
but we
want to
stop you.
They're still trying to stop her this entire time.
Actually, technically, if they wanted to stop her, they would just shoot her right
But
there.
it also, it seems like, yes, there's this time traveling and we want that power because she's going to abuse it. I'm like, what the heck are you going to do with
wait,
it, buddy?
guys. Well, have you forgotten? I mean, we knew this all along, that the Klingons were developing time travel technology, and we had to arms race stop I can't even get through the sentence.
On top of that, if it's Michael, at a certain point, isn't Pike or Ash or Michael or someone be like, why do we not trust future Michael? Like, in other words, the Red Angel.
Have we looked at Michael's track record?
No, she's actually not done anything. I mean, she's very dramatic. I get that. But, like, as far as doing
As
things.
Spock actually very helpfully points out, this profile fits you. You're
Actually,
really
it
like
does.
this. And it does fit her. I'm not.
I mean, he kind of means it as a diss, where he's like trying to save things that you have no control over, but he's right.
But like the whole, it was hard for me to enjoy the episode the first time, and my wife can attest to me yelling at the TV. Was that I mean, because there's lots of good stuff. I know me. I'm negative discovery. I got it. But like, it was hard for me to enjoy or see the good things because the whole time I'm going, the whole premise doesn't make sense. Like, I could get if Section 31 wants to capture the Red Angel. I can get if there's like some Ash or some side characters. But Pike? Why is Pike signing on board this plan? There's nothing that says Pike should sign on board this plan. Why is Michael wanting to capture herself? That's the whole premise threw me off.
The base premise is
There's
little
no clear
hard.
goal for them, and it makes no sense if they truly believe, which they do, based on the context of the episode, that future Michael is literally trying to save the universe. Any sort of distraction, like, I don't know, maybe accidentally killing yourself, is counterproductive to that goal. It makes
it almost seems like they're trying to spin that they're ready, because, and maybe I need to watch again. So Amy, you're my source
why
here.
do they? Yeah, but it's a question. Why do they want to stop?
And that seems like they were almost saying the Red Angel is going to destroy the whole universe. I'm like, no. No one thinks
They
that.
never said, I don't think they ever really
my
said that.
interpretation for why they wanted to stop her is because I think every time she shows up, isn't there some kind of
They're saying like the AI is sort of right behind her or something.
Yeah, there's like
that's right. That's how the AI got into the past.
So why make her appear again?
It's piggybacking.
Yeah.
But if she doesn't know it, she can't stop doing it.
And that's why they want to close off
and question
the
her
wormhole.
and figure out that's why they kept her, like, to hold her there so that it couldn't keep like thwarting them.
Except the problem is that doesn't actually solve the problem, because if Michael is aware of this theory now,
that's what
I think it definitely suffers a little bit from the paradox situation where it's like,
if she shows up, she knows that we did this.
If you know, but I mean, she doesn't actually know how it's going to play out in her present until it plays out. So.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, again,
well, and we'll be revealed why she wouldn't know in her future either, because we'll get to that. But
so anyway, that was my problem the whole episode. So it's going to take me time to remember all of the things that were interesting, and but the whole time just like, why are we doing any of this? But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So now we're on board because we gotta take the parts from the old style transporter, because that's totally what they are, and put them around. Me and my transporter room redresses. This is becoming a thing now. I know when they take parts from the transporter room. And we got to get the time crystal, because apparently that's just a thing.
Time crystal.
I wrote
time
that
crystal.
down.
Exists.
That I wrote down, and I was like, where did I write it down? A time crystal. I put in parentheses.
Well, because Mud had one.
I mean, can't it just be like
it's like
a chrono tachyon
market.
particle? Like, dress it up a little bit. Come on, people.
They said there was a black market, and the Klingons tracked it to her parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because apparently there's a lot of them. Maybe 6. I don't know what they do if you get them all together.
Put them in a glove. Who knows?
There's a purple one. There's an orange one.
Yeah. So
one got swallowed by a cat. It's complicated.
Oh, did we talk about what
spoilers.
Daedalus is in reference to? I looked it up.
Well, we know Daedalus' connection with Icarus.
Yeah,
is the father of Icarus, right?
Yeah, but it also could mean like a Daedala is a finely crafted object.
Mm.
like
yeah,
a suit,
like the
like a
suit
super
that
suit.
holds you
Making a
there.
suit so someone can fly, but perhaps too high.
But also,
Yes.
Data Less is another episode of Star Trek. So there you go.
It is.
So they're talking about Daedalus. They're talking about the system.
Control.
Hang on.
We get
Sorry,
an
Darren.
interesting
Can
scene.
we just talk about the fact now that we have now clearly established that 23rd century Starfleet has both I can go anywhere I want in the entire galaxy technology, and now I can go
Or
anywhere
drive.
I want in time technology.
Red Angel
Yeah.
suit.
That's
Yep.
pretty amazing
Yeah.
stuff, man.
Daniel,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
called
it's very-
Also did-
TARDIS.
Retarded. Did they decloak? Did the ship decloak? Is that
Why
Oh,
not?
the Section 31
when they
ships?
arrived? Yeah, when they, because I'm just
It's
looking at-
camouflage.
Okay.
It's totally not cloaking. It's,
It's
it's
camouflage.
camouflage.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So, but
I don't know.
Klingons can cloak right now.
Yes, Klingons can
Yes.
cloak. Federation can camouflage.
But guys, we're about to
Romulans
have
can conceal.
DEF level fun.
DEFCON level
fun.
fun.
I'm talking about that really awkward
Oh boy.
what just happened scene.
I want to
with,
talk about that.
Yeah, Amy, lead us into this because what is going on with Joe and Stamets?
Well, I think
why
there's
did we have
two
this
there's
scene?
two readings that I've looked into. I've not looked into, but I've heard about when you
Right.
kind of gauge fan reaction and whatever you have with that experience, and I'm glad that they were like, these guys are having some gay tension. It was like, oh, nice. And I think it's the first time ever that someone has said I am gay on Star Trek. I think it's the first time somebody used the word pansexual and binary on Star Trek. So that's kind of a big deal.
Well, the binars, but different context.
Wait, did he?
So-
Was it said that I am gay, or did he say he is gay? Wasn't it Culber?
He said
I'm gay.
well, he's because I just rewatched it like
Mhm.
an hour ago. He said, I'm pretty sure
Oh.
that in this universe and in all other ones, I am gay.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep.
And you're like, and like he's gay too. And Georgia's like, oh, don't be so binary, you guys. And it was just like, I'm
in the
glad.
JoJo-verse, everything's rocking.
And yes, and I the second aspect of that is, things that are not gay and straight are still kind of being relegated to mirror universe status, which
Yeah.
I think,
Which is very tropey, DS9. I mean,
Which
not
is very
tropey. In
yeah.
and of itself. In and of itself, the Marion, which is what I... Anyway. Okay, my brief DS9 rant.
But
not
it
that
was
it's a decent
it was
yeah.
a fun little moment where I liked how she was kind of creeping on him, and I'm like, she is actively hitting on him right now. She's like, but she did a funny way of going about it because she was like, I think you're smarter than my Stamets was, but you're neurotic. Have you considered medication? And I was just like, oh, that's something she would say, isn't it?
Yeah, that was always the thing about DS9 Mirror. And I'm not picking on DS9, I'm picking on DS9 Mirror episodes, of whatever those writers are. But anyway, it's always... Not that there's anything wrong with this. I'm just saying, it's always hypersexualized women, but the men are still straight. There are no gay men in DS9 Mirror, but all the women are. Which is, okay.
That's an interesting...
No, no, men are always straight in DS9 Mirror. There's no gay men, but all the women in except
or at
maybe
least bi.
yeah, maybe not Jennifer Sisko, but everyone else is always leather and
No, I
making out with
know.
everyone, and I'm like,
don't you love that she's like, I'm just gonna
Balance.
wear this outfit. It's black with some studs on it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god, I got into this conversation about the same thing. Like Section 31 doesn't have like a uniform code.
Uniforms.
It's everybody gets to wear pleather wherever they want. It's like, what the hell is going on, man? I do not
It's
understand.
transparent Illumipleather.
I just
It's the
I
future.
like all
but
of
they're evil,
Giorgio's
Daniel.
costume designs, so I'm okay with it. But I see your point about there being nothing uniform.
And it's like not
about
even
it.
practical.
But it reminds me of Star Wars in that it's like, let's have 900 different uniforms that represent the dark side wear, that the Empire wears. I think that's a lot of shows, that kind of stuff. I mean, even look at Generations. Half of them are wearing DS9.
Yes.
Half of them are wearing like the TNG era with the.
We don't like to talk about generation.
No,
But yes.
you can't
Yes,
you
yes.
can't the uniforms on Discovery when they've always done it.
Look, Voyager stuck the course and
Voyager
kept those same
was
uniforms
stuck in
on
the
the
Delta
entire
Quadrant.
time.
They had no.
They found out by season 6. They
Have
could have
you-
reprogrammed the replicators.
Hang on.
There's no reason.
7 had like 18 different cat suits, so I don't even want to hear it. Just
She had different looks for her regeneration.
Wink.
Also, that silver one just looked so uncomfortable.
Yes. Yes, you had to vacuum seal in. But yeah,
Well, it's got the
so-
ribbing. You don't like the blue one and the like purpley one.
no, I like
they
the
didn't
purple.
like
I like
those-
the blue Starfleet uniform. But like,
Yeah.
that scene, well, it was awkward. It's not. It was so 21st century, I guess, because I'm like, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna use the same words by then. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine.
Maybe we just don't want Giorgio to be the lens that we're viewing humanity through.
Well, I don't think she needs to be the lens that's going to solve Culber and Stamets' problem. So
I just don't.
Wait,
Yeah,
I don't.
those two.
Maybe she was a counselor before she joined.
Oh, did you see? Did you guys
Mayor
see
counselor.
Marina Sirtis tweeted Jane Brooke and said, if
I saw that.
if you need a little help with your counseling technique, I know who you can call.
Admiral Troy,
So-
can we look forward to that in the novels?
I look very much forward to that.
Lots of time travel going on. There's no way it couldn't happen.
So we get Saru is super not liking Leland.
Why didn't his spikes
Surprise,
come
surprise.
out?
Nobody likes
I want to
Leland.
see the spikes.
Does
Oh, the
anyone
spikes.
like Leland?
Okay, go rewatch the episode, Philip. Go rewatch the Spike episode if you
No,
want.
I
know.
are they
I
never
think
gonna
it's
see it come
literally
out
like
again?
Life. I think it's like life or death. Because it's a weapon. It's not like the ganglia. It's not like it comes out when he's.
But it
threatened.
should be
It'll
like
come
the
out when
ganglia.
it's like trying to save his life.
It's a parallel ganglia.
I like
Okay,
Saru is like a
okay.
boss now, and I kind of appreciate that.
Saru, yeah, Saru. We all love Saru. If Saru's got a
You know,
Captain Saru 2020.
Yay!
But yeah, so we have the scene. Is this a scene?
Probably.
Just checking.
Ask Amy. She watched it twice.
Sure.
Yes.
It happens. It happens around here. But we have the scene. I mean, with Burnham and
So
Leland.
yeah, Saru and he and Saru have their scene, and then she comes in and says, "Could you excuse us?"
That's right. That's right.
So-
Okay, and punches him.
That's the
And-
best.
Yeah, she punch it.
We're just. Yeah, she punches.
Literally
him.
punch it.
And I mean, we knew this already because
No.
Giorgio spoiled it. I mean, I'm saying the audience.
Well, we didn't know the details.
But
No.
yeah, we knew he was irresponsible. But
Well,
yeah,
what does that
so,
mean?
And this is where we find out that actually, just like Peter Parker's parents,
Oh, God.
her parents were also
Oh.
involved in some crazy program
Wow.
that Secret Wars we didn't know
Sounded
about
like her
until
mom
now.
was
And-
more involved than her dad.
No.
well, until we get an actual actor playing him,
Yeah.
maybe then.
wait
we'll
until
get
we get the
some more
Red
facts
Devil
for you.
next season, and that's gonna
Ooh.
Oh.
I thought it would just be Blue Angel, and then anyway.
It's a funny analogy that you mentioned, Darren, because much like Peter Parker's nebulous parents' past, I feel like this also doesn't really add much to me. For me, it doesn't add much to the Michael story, and if I guess we don't know enough.
Oh, I
Well-
disagree. I think it
Well,
added.
one question:
I think it added something.
have you read though the spin-off book
No.
though, Daniel? Because the spin-off book talks a lot about this because the first one's all about Michael, and it specifically talks about the events of her parents' death, where they basically were going to leave like on Tuesday, and she's like, no, I want to stay because this star's going to go supernova, and they stay, and then the attack happens. So she blames herself for her parents' death. I mean, she talks a little bit about it in this episode, but I mean, it's kind of like the Cliff Notes version of the book, as it were. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying they have explored that more in the book. If you read the books, Daniel, it's all
in
clear.
the novel verse.
Totally. In the novel verse. But yeah, no, we get, and this, I mean, obviously as we see what this is setting up, because we will be soon meeting Mama Dearest.
It's
but-
Mama Burnham. I don't know where Dearest is coming from.
Yes. Well, we still don't have a name for her, but we'll
I'm
get
sure
there.
it's yeah.
But yeah, so we have.
So
we,
you're
when
talking
we talk
about
more about
you're
time
talking about
crystals.
Desperate Hours,
and-
correct? By David Mack.
It's the first.
That's the
it's,
first.
No, the first one.
That's the first one.
Yeah, Desperate Hours.
The
Yeah.
one that
and then
no longer is canon.
The second
I've read
one
them all,
is-
so they start to blur together.
Yeah,
Fear
the second,
Itself.
the second one is Dayton Ward, the Drastic Measures one.
Oh, you're right.
I just looked to
Yeah.
verify that.
Yeah, Drastic Measures was the with Giorgio and
I read that.
Lorca.
Yeah.
Oh, not that one.
And then
And
you have
then
Saru's.
3 and 4 I have not.
Tilly and Saru.
I'm excited to
Saru and then
read
Tilly.
Tilly's because I love her.
Tilly's was good. I liked it. And Enterprise War, the next one I'm looking forward to, which is going to explain what the Enterprise was doing during the Klingon
Saving
War.
the best. So Amy, I'm interested in what you have to say about the parents' backstory. So please don't let us be interrupting you. But
No, you're not.
quickly, just quickly. I'm not I'm going to say something important or anything. But the Leland, I was thinking about this, and again, I know Discovery negative, but get over it.
I'm pretty sure he's going to die before the end of the season.
My thing was,
I'm just saying.
It seems to me, and this is me, you all can correct me, that he's being either written or inconsistently. Because not that there you have to be black and white, like either he's evil or he's not evil. You can't be both. I mean, you can be both. You can be, but I haven't seen him be that much more developed than he. It seems like he's just a dick. And so this episode where he's like, I really want to apologize. I'm like, what is this? What is this BS? This is not your character at all.
There's a difference between being an asshole, like
he was torturing Spock 2 episodes ago. So this whole
and then being
I was a young guy
with the young girl whose parents you killed, like
yeah. So this whole like, oh, I was younger and I didn't know any better about. I'm like, because you're such a pantheon of conscience and goodness.
She said that you have to do some moral gymnastics.
Yeah.
Or whatever she said. I thought that was a good line. But
like I could get he went from like 10 to like 3, and I'm like maybe a 5 where like. You know what, Michael? That's what happened, and if it's making but this whole like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, this is not Leland. This is like Mayor Leland when he's nice.
You're saying like either just go full asshole,
well, or be more nuanced. You can't go from like jerk 10 to like Mr. Compassionate 1 because he was Mr. Compassionate 1 here, and I'm like, this is not the gold Ducat I've seen.
Totally compassionate because he's like. He's like, I was ambitious. Like he's not.
What is he now?
I don't know. He's still he's first of all. This is the person they have in
losing
charge
his
of
command
Section 31.
soon. We know.
This is the person they had nobody better to be in charge of Section 31.
I thought he was in charge of that ship.
No,
I didn't
he's not.
know
No,
he
you're
was.
not.
He's not control, but still.
He's the face of Section 31's like power structure, basically.
Yeah.
For
he's the captain.
Discovery's
Yeah.
purposes.
Yeah.
But I think what they said in terms of like. Your mom, she's like, they said, yeah, your mom was an astrophysicist, but she was also an engineer, and she helped design this thing to kind of, what did they say? I wrote it down.
She was actually
certain leaps in technology are a result of time travel was kind of what their like theory was.
Because she's an anthropologist, I believe.
No, her dad is a xenobiologist, and her mom was an astrophysicist.
Oh, was it? Okay, I thought they were both,
Yeah.
so sorry. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Because I was also like, what would
then
they...
I wrote time crystal in quote marks. I'm like, it's a magical time crystal. I've never heard of this thing.
It literally is magic.
I like
but,
it. There's something like, we had everything together, but the time crystal. I'm like, well, that would be an important element you would need for the time travel.
You would
suit.
think one would start. You could think
I
that
don't know where you find a time crystal.
Well, they're just lucky that the port they were going to put it in was the right size for the crystal they didn't have yet.
That was Time Crystal 2.0, yeah.
Yeah, 2.0, yes. So we get a small scene with Burnham and Tyler confronting. Basically, Burnham's just unhappy that he's working for Section 31. He went over to the other store, and so now they're like fighting each other. It's it's the Michael Scott Paper Company all over again. But yeah, so let's get to the Admiral Cornwall therapist scene.
Will our discussion last longer?
We haven't
than their
packed
counseling
We haven't packed
session?
enough in this episode yet. So now
there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I feel like that's the function
end,
of having 14 episodes, 13 episodes instead of 20 something per season to kind of deal with everything with.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just tell a simpler story.
Yeah. One without time crystals, perhaps. Let's just suggest that would be the first thing you might cut. But
yeah, so we get their scene, and it's like you said, it's very short, but basically the message is choose love every day. I mean, again, good messages. Just kind of why are we talking about this now? Because I thought we were capturing the Red Angel, but
I think she's upset he's working with unscrupulous people, which at every turn, even though they're like say they're trying to save the universe or try to prevent the ultimate demise of humanity, they've done a lot of bad shit in the past. And
Maybe the Section 31 spinoff is going to be them stuck in the mirror universe where
God.
everyone is worse than they are and they have to get back.
By comparison, they are the good guys. I guess that would be the only way.
Yes.
well, it's interesting to see what Section 31's function was in the early days of Starfleet when they said, "Oh, well, we might have our like high and
What
mighty."
is that function, Amy? 'Cause I'm
Controlling
still not
everything, apparently.
Sure.
I think it's still like, I think they're still kind of going off of that vibe of like, not to be the X-Files person, but that is one of my I mean, I'm serious. There's
know.
like, there's the government that we think is doing, XYZ or trying to, that then there's the shadow government that's like the ones that know what's happening with,
Is
like,
Leland the
aliens and
smoking man? Is that what you're saying, Amy?
I think we haven't seen the Smoking Man yet. I think Leland is probably like one of like
Ooh.
the like underlings serving.
He's
him.
Krychek? Is that who Leland is?
Oh, he's Krychek, but definitely not as good looking.
Yes. Well, then we get to answer the important question, what does a 22nd century gym look like with all of its awesome advanced punching bags and things?
Well, I just,
Oh wait,
like
we did.
that.
We skipped Tyler we skipped Culber and Cornwall.
Yeah, I mean, for Culber,
okay,
I
sorry.
just want to say I'm interested in his character. I mean, I'm interested in his character, but I mean, I'm interested in his character, and I have been from the beginning, right? I've said that the whole time. I mean, that for as negative as I am, Culber, I'm here for. And his story is interesting, but it's such a C story. I mean, and it shouldn't be, but it is. It's a C story. Like if you do the, and so we just get like this drip every, episode now. Like here's 10 seconds of Culver being sad, and I'm like I would love that to be half the episode. I mean, like to have it have value to develop it.
I think it has value because it's present. They're
it
trying
is,
to, but they also don't
yeah.
have like a ship's counselor.
Right, and that's always going to be, a canon-locked issue. I mean, that's why you sort of crowbar in Admiral Counselor. And so I don't know how you get around. Well, I mean, that's when you have, your whatever.
Well, you don't have a bartender.
That was gonna be my second thing.
Nobody tends bar and listens.
Yeah, like you could have like a Saru randomly, because I don't know. You could throw in someone who's had trauma that he could then approach.
Do you know who you could have? Canonically, at this point, you could have the Doctor from the Enterprise, who advised Pike, Bryce, as his bartender as well.
Bartender,
the drinking doctor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's because I would like to hear it, but I mean, I'm not going to exaggerate. What's actually maybe like a 10-minute, not even that, it can't be that long. 5-minute scene. I don't know. Yeah.
I think I liked what she's. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say I liked the pairing. I liked this idea because we did get this background that Cornwall had this sort of background in psychology, and Culber reaching out to someone else. I like the pairing. I like the two characters. I even like the message overall. I think it's just not given enough time, and it's probably just a byproduct of the episode that they're in. But if you do give this like a scene in the beginning and then a scene in the end, or give this a few extra minutes to breathe. But because it's so condensed into this 3 to 4 minute scene, it loses a lot of its impactfulness that it could have. And that's the thing. I really do think that these characters, especially these two characters, are.
I think if they're going to be on All Access, they could definitely do 60 minutes instead of 43 minutes, and we would get a little bit more.
I feel like there's going to be like a super cut you can do at the end of season 2 of the Culber storyline. That'll be like a good 40 minutes if you just cut, because you'll have like the Spock Stamets scene from the previous episode. It'll make sense, but you have to cut it all and put it together and be like, oh, they did treat it well, just 5 seconds at a time. And so like, I hate it, it's not going to happen this way, but like the next episode will be like, oh, I noticed Dr. Culber moved back in. It's like, okay. Like they'll just solve it, and then it'll be like, okay, well, we all went on a journey anyway.
I liked what I very much like Cornwall. I think she's a cool character, and I like that there's this facet about her. And it also kind of makes sense because she was like, you're kind of not the Lorca I knew. And it's like, maybe she has that like extra sensory vibe where she like, she's empathetic and she can kind of read people because of her training and all that. And so I kind of liked how that it kind of like called back to that a little bit. But I
Well, there hasn't been a lot of great joy and gratitude in this season or series, so it's been hard to tell.
but she said your experience transcends what we know about identity, which I thought was really interesting.
It's true.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
only there was a
liked
character
that
who
line.
died and came back. Oh wait, that's too soon. He'll talk to Spock later.
Well, he learned a trick from an old friend. So,
But anyway.
but yeah. So no, I mean, again, we like all of these scenes. There's a lot of great stuff going on. There's just it's so much and so
Yeah, it's
fast.
fast. It's
that
fast for sure.
around a larger premise that because like I get I know I'm repeating myself, but like this whole premise of catching the Red Angel, I'm like, no, don't do that. And then we just have these scene of other stuff, and I'm like, I would love to pay attention to this, but I'm just yelling at the TV right now. But anyway, but you mentioned Ash and Michael, which stuff.
They made out. Yay.
Yeah,
Is
they
Ash
did. Not just a
okay?
hologram.
I'm not here for Ash season 2. I'm here for
No.
Ash season 1.
I like Ash.
He is brainwashed. Why? I don't get why. I can get that he has a reason for being at Section 31, the Island of Misfit Toys. I don't get why he's 100% Kool-Aid about it. Oh, yeah, but we're still... No! Why are you 100% in, all chips in on Section 31, Ash? I don't get it.
I'm not all chips in on Section 31 Ash, but I think he's figuring it out.
Well, no, he is. He's all... Yeah, because that's why I don't get why his character is so sexual. Like, I can't like him. I can't be with Michael. Why do you want to be with this guy who's clearly Section 31? So.
We all like a bad
Well, that's
boy,
what they
Phil.
talk about.
We all like a bad boy.
The long hair, too. Is that what it is?
Oh,
Does he have a
geez.
motorcycle, Amy? That's what I want to know.
Section 31 flaunts hair
You're allowed-
grooming
I
rules
mean,
that Stock
the leather.
has.
You're allowed to
know.
have the beard
mean,
when you're in
Did
Section
you
31.
see his butt in that spacesuit? Like, come on.
I guess.
Wait, we haven't gotten to the spacesuit scene yet. We're almost there.
Or no, was it his
first
butt?
we
No,
have to
it
have
wasn't
Spock.
his butt. It was Spock's butt. There were a lot of good butts in that scene.
But yes, so Spock basically, in a nutshell, forgives Burnham because she was a kid and they're reconciling.
That was nice.
And it was nice. I'm not saying again. I mean, again,
Sudden.
that was a great scene.
But nice.
But we have to add in that they also figure out what the Red Angel wants, which is to save
hang on.
Michael, and that's the
I do
variable.
want to talk about the
Spock rant. Here we go.
I just want to talk about the fact that earlier on in the,
Trying to get to
I know,
Act
I know.
4, Daniel. I'm
I know,
trying
I
to
know,
get to
but you
Act
brought it up,
4.
so I'm going to bring up this scene. So they said in the dramatic first act, at the end of the first act, they say, Michael, you're the Red Angel. And then at the end of the dramatic second act, they say, Michael, you're the variance. You're everything, Michael. Everything is about you.
They literally say that. Yeah,
It's just
that
it's
is
so,
true.
Like,
I mean, she is the main character, guys.
Well,
We've been told this.
does she have?
if
to
it
be?
was called Star Trek Michael, maybe. But
Which on a slight sidebar, I love how there was that little not rumbling about like someone had put like Star Trek Picard as in their like their notes or something, and they're like, oh, it's just a placeholder until the real title. I'm like, I would put money down.
that's what happened to DS9.
That I'm like, look at Solo. Everyone's like, what's it going to be
Picard.
called? And we're like, it's going to be called Solo because that's literally all you could say. And I would put money down that the Picard show is going to be called Star Trek
Now,
Picard.
Darren,
I mean,
Solo
or
is
it's gonna
not
ha-
just Solo.
STP.
STP.
I don't think it's going to be Star Trek
Ugh.
Picard. I don't think so.
You could just call it Picard.
No,
be
I don't
like
think they're gonna
Enterprise.
Call it.
Just call it Picard.
Well, it's always named for the ship, and we don't have like a real.
Ship or space station.
Well, you know,
What does Picard
Vessel.
need with the starship, guys?
that's a whole nother thing about Picard. But
Star Trek Jean-Luc.
I like
JLP.
I know.
JLP. You know me.
Oh, I'd love it. STJLP. Coming soon. But
Oh
anyway.
man.
But yes. Yes. Okay, so we're back.
But Spock,
and
well,
we have the
let's
Discovery.
Spock it. So yeah,
Yes.
it's.
We're on the Discovery. We have Spock. He's breaking down walls. He's
So
making...
I'm going to throw this chip out there. I'm going to be wrong, but a prediction. Because again, I know I should just ignore the fact that Spock never talks about her, but I'm hanging on to it. I'm hanging on to it that there has to be a reason, right? There has to be a reason. So now that they've reconciled, that can't be the reason, right? Which I didn't think it was going to be because it was too early to be like, I did something bad to Spock.
Maybe all the Red Angel stuff was classified and he can't.
Well,
talk
here's
about
my thing. I don't think Michael survives the series. Boom. I said it.
Oh.
Not only does she not survive, she sacrifices
interesting.
herself in such a way that
Yeah, it's too painful.
yeah, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Because he has no sister. She's dead.
it. Well, what if? What if the mom dies and she has to take on the mantle of the Red Angel?
This is getting a little Marvel-y,
to
isn't it?
continue on.
Which, by the way,
Well, because we know that the Red Angel that shows up to save Michael in that moment is the mother, but we technically don't know that the Red Angel and all the other times there's time travel involved.
I like it.
There's time travel.
I like it.
So it could totally be like they look at the suit chronometer or something and it says, "Oh, I've only been on 2 missions,"
Yep.
and she's like, "Wait, the Red Angel showed up. What's going to be showing up 7 times? We've made a really big deal. It's 7 signals." So she's like,
Well,
"I
what
have
happens
to be."
is her mom will leave.
It's like in Harry Potter when he has the time turner and he realizes that he's seeing himself.
Mm.
Darren,
That was-
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was going to be like War Machine, where like Michael's like next time.
Darren, it's it's really cute, Darren, that you called it a chronometer on the Red Angel's suit. Here in Discovery, we call it a time watch. Just to make things simple, so everybody understands.
Is that where the
It's-
crystal
yes,
goes? Is that how it keeps
Exactly,
time
yeah.
as a quartz?
Either things are either
maybe?
space things or time things. Those are very clearly.
It's a
delineated.
mushroom. It's either
Okay, actually, I mean, I was just throwing it out there, but actually, I feel like what I just said was highly plausible on what could happen. But
I don't disagree.
I think that could be a really valid theory where, and I also think, the reason
I think the writers are crazy enough to make it. That's
you
what
say
happens.
crazy. That's a word.
Speaking of Marvel, not to go back to it, when I got the Leland, I killed your parents, Michael, and then she freaks out and punches him in the face,
Twice.
I was getting little Civil War vibes. Little Tony Stark learns about his parents.
Except
And true, and she also asks Spock if he knew, or she asks Tyler if he knew.
Yeah.
the difference is in Civil War, we have 8.
Oh my gosh, is Tyler Bucky? He's got the beard.
Well, yes, he came back.
He doesn't have a metal
and he's
arm.
changed.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Yes.
seeing the parallels right now. But not
Is
Star Trek
Spock
Next
the
Generation
Winter
parallels.
Soldier? I don't. It's very.
Star Trek Endgame.
Next time he
That's the
shows
next
up, we
series,
hear
you
that,
guys,
like-
Star Trek Endgame.
Oh,
I'm
man.
calling it.
So next time we see Spock, we hear like the Winter Soldier like ah! like the cheer in the background.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Hey guys, guess what? We made it. Act 4. We're in the Discovery and Leland's ship, the NCIA 93. Dumbest name for a ship I've never seen. But anyway, we made it to the planet, and we beamed down the parts of the transporter we don't need.
Okay,
We're
it doesn't. Okay, I know it doesn't matter. I'm going there anyway.
It's not
So-
gonna make sense, Phil. Go with God. It's Star Trek.
I know. Stamets is like, you know what? This is a great design, but we don't have enough power. Oh, there's a magic planet full of power. Oh well, I mean, of course that planet, the
mean,
planet
but how
full of
many
power.
But how many
was-
times did they divert power to the deflector dish and save shit back in the Next Generation?
Look, a galaxy-class deflector dish is as powerful as a whole planet that you magically need to do what you want it. I mean, we know this.
If it isn't the mushroom planet, it's the power planet. But yeah, go ahead.
It makes me think of Stargate. In Stargate universe, there's a specific planet they go to activate the 9th chevron because it's literally like a power
I
planet.
have just had a revelation
Mm-hmm.
what the issue is.
Right.
The issue is that we have too many science fiction things in our pop culture now to compare this to.
Like Star Trek.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That we didn't
kidding, I'm
have
kidding.
when Next Generation aired because there wasn't really anything else like Star Trek that aired like that
On television,
Yeah.
correct.
on
right.
television.
Yeah. There's a lot of good sci-fi out right now.
Yeah.
So Discovery and Star Trek in general has to really up its
Well,
game.
and that's the thing. That's the
That
Or
we're
go
suffering
dramatic.
we're suffering from an embarrassment of riches, but
Mm-hmm.
also
It's embarrassment of
a-
riches.
but also it's kind of falling victim to like comparison.
Well,
like
I don't-
we're comparing it to all of its siblings that we've seen.
Right, like The Expanse or
I
The
love The
Orville
Expanse.
or yeah, I mean, there's like I said, there's a lot of great. I mean, heck, Stranger Things
Well,
is
even
like
stuff like,
sci-fi
you know,
fantasy.
We did the
the-
Upside Down though in the Mushroom World.
But that's the thing. That's
and we compared it
What's the show
to
where
it
there's
because
like different bodies with the replica? Will you watch it?
Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon.
Even
I
like,
thought you were talking about
know,
the yeah.
But that's the
all
thing,
the
and that
all the Marvel, all the Peter Parker, the things that we're giving like the references
Dark Mirror,
to.
who knows? Black
I
Mirror.
feel it's true though, because
Yeah.
I think when we're having these writers trying to come up with like all sorts of stuff that they're going to
There's so much that's been done.
I
now.
feel like they're maybe struggling because so much has been done.
I mean, I would,
Or like
go
even
back-
like Black Mirror, like
Yeah.
there's so much.
I think that's unfair. I really do. I mean, I think that my biggest problem specifically with Discovery is the science fiction writing specifically. It's not good science fiction writing at all. Like there may be good stuff here to delve into with characters and plot lines and storylines, but I feel like my biggest issue is that they've completely left the science fiction aspect behind. Star Trek for me, and of course Star Trek is all things to all people, so it doesn't really matter, but it's which is fine. But to me, it's like I've always loved the hard science fiction element of Star Trek, and so I like the fact that we know how warp bubbles go and how they can divert their energy to the warp shield and stuff like this. So Discovery is coming in here telling me there are things like time crystals and magic mushroom drives, and it's like, this is frustrating because this is not the Star Trek that I'm used to, and they don't even make an attempt. We're just bringing people back from the dead. We're just totally doing all this sorts of thing that's not science fiction based. It's just sort of, no. There's Star Trek is of course a ginormous property, so there's always going to be hypocrisy. There's always going to be this, examples where you can bring those sorts of things up. But it feels like Discovery to me is like, what frustrates me is just like it's the one that seems to just jettison all that. Voyager did a lot of the same sort of things too, where it just let it go. So that's what makes me like,
I feel like sometimes they have to shed that in order to be able to like move forward. Otherwise, you're just second guessing yourself. And like, I mean, look at Voyager. It had like 3 other Star Treks before it, and they would probably be suffering in the writers' room of, we did that in season 3 of Deep Space Nine, or we did that in season 5 of TNG, or like, you have to tell. I mean, there's probably basically like 8 stories in the world, and they have to learn. Then they have
One
to
or
learn
two,
how to,
yeah.
and you have to like learn how to tell them in a new and unique way.
Yeah.
So
I get.
But I think what you said also, Daniel, because I've often said this, that's what I love. The difference between Star Wars and Star Trek is Star Wars is space fantasy. It doesn't matter how you get from place to place. You get in the ship and you go to light speed and you're there because it's moving the plot along. In Star Trek, it's science fiction in which it's very important. It can use things that don't exist. That's the fiction part. But it's very important how the ship works, how it gets from place to place, how our crew interacts with the technology. And I agree with you, Daniel. There's sometimes a frustration when it feels like they're going a little too fi and a little less sci, and we want it to, it's like, okay, well, let's throw out this MacGuffin of a time crystal, and we keep coming back to that. But and that solves our writing issue when instead, we can have buy-in with fiction, but there has to be groundwork laid for it.
When you can't even be bothered to come up with a chronotonium or whatever, and you literally
Unobtainium.
Oh, I totally buy chronotonium.
and you-
No, it's unobtainium. Get it right.
that's a perfect
All we got to do is
example.
slingshot around 7 suns, and we're totally good.
Unobtainium.
That's a perfect example. It's just like if you don't care enough to put it in, then I'm not going to care either. And it's just a big departure from how classical Star Trek or Star Trek has historically dealt with these issues. And it's compounding now. It's gotten to the point where we're calling things time crystals. And that's the part that I'm just like, oh my God, ugh. At least Voyager made up like dictionaries worth of technobabble, but at least they made up dictionaries worth of technobabble. That's an effort.
Nanoprobes are magic.
Yeah. Now,
They totally are.
and now we're not doing that, so it's just like whatever. Okay.
All right, moving on. Red Angel.
We finally got there. Go ahead.
A closing remark
Last-
is I just think that every science fiction thing find something to lean on to explain stuff, whether it's liked by fans or not, whether whether I or you or I like it is
Sonic screwdrivers and TARDIS.
yeah, exactly, or midichlorians, like. And the
we don't speak about that.
hey, it exists, man. It's a thing they did. Whether it's unobtainium in the Avatar universe, like, why are we on this planet? Nobody knows. Oh, they have unobtainium. Like, it's silly. Like,
No, that's what you build your ship where you're going to the core of the Earth. It's the exact same material, same name. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so best plan, guys. I just coming up with this on top of my head. Let's just kill Michael. And I mean, a lot of setup for that, but let's just open the door to space or whatever, and she'll
atmosphere
die soon. I mean, great use of practical set. I'm pretty sure it's the same set we were on the crashed ship where we met the chief engineer, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
But no, it was really cool. I mean, obviously I like the visuals, and it was really cool. I think this is where in the teaser where they showed her being put in the chair that I'm like, oh, Michael's Red Angel, because why else would you put her in the chair?
I did enjoy when Mom appeared.
Did anyone think that the angel was not going to show up?
I did.
Because I did. I totally thought the angel was going to show up.
I didn't.
I was not.
I was willing to go with them. I try every now and then to go with them, but I should know better at this point. But I did like when Mom showed up and just like.
Maybe that's why Spock doesn't talk about Burnham, because he let her die by holding everyone at gunpoint from saving her.
Like, well, that didn't work.
Man.
But I like when Mom showed up and hit her with light ball, and then she was good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was in the light ball.
It was red beam.
Oxygen.
It was
Look,
red
okay,
angel.
they had. She's got two arms. One arm holds the time crystal.
Right.
One arm holds the medical saving laser. Obviously, it's like you don't even know what a time angel suit is.
It was a health ball. Was it mana? I don't know what it was.
I like that.
Is a 1-up mushroom?
It wasn't green. So...
Add that sound effect.
And then Michael opens her eyes and is like, oh, and all the scarring in my lungs is apparently okay.
She still
now.
doesn't have life support. Maybe it was a star, and so she's now invincible for the remaining 30
like
seconds
20
of the
seconds
episode
until they close.
She absorbed all the
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's, and then they trap her, and then she, Iron Man's out of the suit really easily. Just kind of phases through it or something. I guess it doesn't open.
Drew me off because it almost seemed like someone was still in there when she fell out.
Well, yeah, it was still standing after she phased out of it, and then she's on the floor, and it's still standing after it packed up. Its
face was still there.
Well, we were talking about Marvel earlier. It is a very Iron Man effect that she pops out of the suit. And
look, if Michael was saying if she cared, her mother would actually be there in this moment, and then she opens up. It's like, oh my God, her mother's actually there. But. So what did you all think of the mother twist? I'm gonna say I didn't.
They surprised us.
I mean,
give them credit where credit's due.
I've heard people say what was it that the writers were being extra tricky, maybe because of how Vox was kind of
and Lorca
seen from a mile, and it was just seen from a mile away, and it's like, okay, we got to up our
obviousness
misdirection game. Maybe why they were so hard on it's Michael in the first act, but I mean, I was surprised. What about you, Daniel and Amy?
Surprised.
Were you surprised?
I think when they talked about her mom being part of the team, I thought that maybe, and also having like a genetically similar makeup.
And we've already established it's a human female.
Yes. I don't know if surprised is the right word. I think it was for something that they seem to drop kind of like casually in the first like 10 minutes of the episode, like, oh, it's Michael. Like Tilly,
which says that also should be a red herring right away, as you said, because people don't drop that in the first 10 minutes of an episode. That's something you leave at the end of the episode.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I was surprised in that before I started watching that episode that I did not think it was her mother. But then, of course, as the episode progressed, I said, well, this makes sense. But it's still cool, and I would like to get to know Michael's mother. An astrophysicist engineer who engineers a time suit sounds like a cool lady to me.
I'm not seeing her live very long after this. I don't know. I don't see her becoming a main
No,
member
I
of the
think
cast,
she'll go back and time will do what it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But and we get the cliffhanger where Michael says "Mom," and then we zoom in on Riker's face and he says "Fire," and then da 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 da.
Well,
da,
I think
da,
much
da, da.
like O'Brien, Michael of course can never be happy because gods forbid. She's not melodramatic anyway.
That's
so
true.
yeah, her mom's gonna die horribly, and Michael will blame herself. And welcome to season 3. Boom.
Although technically, if it's involving time travel, her mom should look literally just like she last saw her, because she wouldn't have aged.
Yeah.
We don't.
Or maybe she's super aged.
She's been-
Time crystals can work very different, Darren.
Can they, Phillip? I don't even know.
I will give it to him. It being her mother was not a thing that I think showed up on a lot of people's radar. I do wish that.
I didn't see it on any.
Darren, you were in the right vein when you said Amanda. Wrong mom though.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. 50%, guys. 50% right there.
Well, and
if you had said Michael's mom and kept it more general,
it's,
you
you
could have
know,
claimed
Phillip,
victory.
you've actually complained about now seeing Michael's mommy issues.
No, Phillip complaining. I
That we've
cannot
seen lots of
believe
mommy-
that.
Shocking.
Mommy issues
Shocking.
with Michael, and now of course
Yeah.
we're going to see her actual mom.
The ultimate mommy issues.
Where it all came from.
But the thing, but here's the thing. Like, I agree. It was actually really well done. I thought because it was totally unexpected. I felt like the first half of the episode didn't serve it. Like the first half of the episode was like, oh, it's Michael. So now we know it's probably not going to be Michael. And then I wish that they saved the Leland scene for her mother. Like
The puncher.
Oh.
punch
yeah,
her in
like
the
oh my,
face.
like you.
That would
Can we-
actually
yeah,
be way
can we-
better.
Are we gonna mention Leland's what maybe happened to him?
Oh my God! Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'll take some of my time and bring this up because what the hell is that contraption for?
He
Generally,
got like. I don't know what.
Oh,
he's
gosh, I
looking to
totally
do.
forgot about
Was he
that.
looking
Yeah.
to like focus the
He was-
beam?
Okay,
It
so
was,
so they needed
password.
extra power.
It was retina recognition
Yeah, they
or
need-
something.
yeah, but
but that's normally not
Why should
like
I have needles?
It's
You
like
don't-
draw blood from finger, not eyeball. But yeah.
You picked the wrong setting.
Um,
You're supposed to not.
so
Yeah.
is this
And once they did that,
3 better
it-
or 2?
it shot more power. I'm trying to remember.
I think
what
he was
exactly
over. I
happened.
believe.
So they went in there
overriding security or
Yes.
something to
So he could
Right.
because-
safety protocols.
Yeah, so that they could because down on the surface they were like being held by Spock and don't do anything. So he decided like, oh well, if they're not going to do anything, then I'm going to do something. So he went in to try to do it, but the computer stopped him.
Oh, so you're thinking it's like the computer fought back and not. I mean, obviously, it's not supposed to normally do that. That
I
seems
think
really
there's still
counterintuitive.
an aspect of whatever infected area
Future
is
AI.
in Discovery
Yeah.
because I think it's so it. I don't. He
Oh,
didn't die.
So did it really, really fast do 3 little stabs on the
No,
eye?
it
Like
was just one.
Now he has a red
Oh,
eye.
I know. I meant because she had the 3 dots. in
Oh
her
yes,
eye.
yes. No, I see what you're saying.
I know, not really, but I'm just saying.
I
yeah.
see what you're saying. Yeah, no, it
Um,
used the computer's components to like create a weapon to get him in the most vulnerable spot they could find.
That's true, and there was kind of like a bit of tech kind of stuff on his
Afterward,
face.
yeah.
And, yeah, so he's in the land of the blind.
I thought
the one-eyed
my husband
crazy
thought he was
captain.
dead initially, and I thought we rewound it, and I just like rewatched it, and he's not dead. He
Look, he's had a rough.
You know what,
day.
guys?
Bones.
I think we're overseeing the simple explanation. Obviously, Giorgio programmed that thing to kill him. She's looking to move up. This is how we get promoted in the Mirror universe. So, whoops, so sad.
See, this is why you use the Touch ID, not the face recognition software.
It's the Mirror universe
when you
of
want
putting
to
shoe polish,
unlock your computer.
except they put spikes. That's how it works over there. So,
but then the voice came afterward. Did you notice that?
No, I really need to rewatch that scene
No,
because it
you
was so
do.
fast.
You do
I don't
because
remember any of
initially
it.
we watched it and I was like, "What happened?" So we rewound it and we watched it again.
What did the voice
And
say?
He was talking to, and he said, "Go ahead, it's okay. Like you can like keep going."
Right.
But he had already been injured and was laying on the ground. So I think
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't
it
him
wasn't
maybe.
him
saying that.
that was saying, "Go ahead, keep doing the but the
Yeah, like you're clear
Yeah,
or do the thing. Yeah.
it's like all clear, go ahead. But it was really something that had synthesized his voice over the comm.
On your first viewing, that scene is entirely unclear.
The scene is confusing.
What the hell is going on?
Well, because you're trying to first tell where he is, then you're trying to tell what's going on, and then you're trying to tell what happened, all in 20 seconds.
That contraption is, I think, really awful.
Suspect.
They needed somehow to get him either electrocuted or stabbed.
Yeah, like I know on the ViewMaster,
No,
you
use a stylus like a Worf, and you push it on the thing, and it climbs up your arm.
On second watching, it's like, oh, they foreshadowed this in the first scene. It's Control, and that's what's happening here.
Yeah, I think Control is still definitely
fake,
part of the equation.
Yeah.
Maybe her mom. So now that they're separated from the ship, right? So they're separated from the ship. They're on the planet. She's in the bubble with her mom that's holding her there. I think that's good because Control doesn't necessarily have access. To that, where Michael and where her mother is.
Access denied.
Exactly. So I think that's good because I think Discovery is compromised on some level as a ship. And who knows if it is, if Leland's ship is also compromised on some level.
That's Section 31. The whole thing's compromised. I mean, I was talking morally, but I suppose you mean technologically. So.
But yes.
Like all their microwaves are
Yes to
unshielded. Their
both.
computer cores are right out in the open. All right, so next week it's Perpetual Infinity. I'm thinking we're doing some time jumps. That's my prediction. But then again, I also thought some earlier ones were going to be dealing more with time based on their titles. So a little less Latin-y than I like, but we'll go with it. Any predictions?
What is the title,
for
Zan? I'm sorry.
Perpetual Infinity.
Ooh, so like a time loop, stuck in a loop.
Yeah, I'm thinking someone's getting in that Red Angel suit and doing something.
Yeah.
I hope it's more. I know that we were, at least me. I was holding out, and it was a long shot that we were going to be. It was going to be Future Guy. Was going to be the Red Angel. But I'm hoping for some more Star Trek crossover. Let's see some more craziness with the time travel.
Look, we gave you words like Daedalus and Starfleet. You can't expect any other kind of crossover. Time Crystal. Okay,
they worked real hard on that one. But no, I'd love to see them do something crazy and wild with the time travel if that's where they're going to go.
Yeah.
I would like for there to be, when the Red Angel disappears, there to be two red fire streaks where the wings were, and then it just sort of spins around, and then out of time.
All right. Well, Amy, as our guest, any final thoughts on this episode? There was a lot going on. Please limit yourself to 50 minutes if possible.
50 minutes?
Yes.
Sorry, did I? The fact my time crystal's off. My watch is all.
I'm just remembering, and it's taking me a while just to remember this episode. This whole season this whole half a season, Red Angel. It's a Red Angel, and then this episode, like section, Leland's like, oh, that Red Angel. Oh no, that was us. Did we not? That was us. Sorry, was that what we were looking for? That was us. I mean, the sketches, the Spock, and. I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, following that, no, my final impression on the episode, yes, there was a lot going on. That was my impression of the episode to begin with, but I think, like I had mentioned earlier, they are trying to tell several stories in a much more compressed episode time frame than Star Trek usually has to spend time on these kinds of things. But on the whole, I still am invested in Burnham's journey and invested in her and Spock and their family dynamic, which I thought we got some good moments of in this episode. Them talking in the gym and also before that. I mean, they felt very much like brother and sister when he was kind of like calling her out a little bit, and I appreciated that part. Like, oh, it's impulsive and dramatic. That's just you to a T. And she's like, thanks for embarrassing me in front of my colleagues. I appreciate that.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro. I feel like that's something my brother and I would like have a little joke with each other about. But
I feel like she should be throwing off a little more like, thanks, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I outrank you, Home Slice. But yes, and I liked Saru being overprotective and like I should keep an eye on this Leland creature. And always like Giorgio and her sassy business, even if I agree the representation from the Mirror Universe is definitely always skewed toward the bisexual and non-binary way of things as a way for Starfleet to expand their horizons. But I think they're learning. This is a new territory for everybody, and I am still on board with all of what they're doing, even if it's going to take us a while to get there.
Very good. Daniel, you have 30 seconds.
Rebuttal.
Well, actually, with the time crystal, it's actually maybe a minute or 3. I don't know.
It's just shortcuts everywhere. Everywhere we look, it's shortcuts and shortcuts. Time crystal is a shortcut. It's just, we've done this before in Discovery. I will admit, the mother thing was something totally unexpected. Like, didn't see that coming at all. And I thought that was a bit of a clever twist. I wish they didn't telegraph it with the Leland scene. I wish it wasn't just like out there, because we didn't know anything about her mom before. And if you're going to pull something out of thin air, not thin air, but out of left field, pull it out of left field. Don't project it 2 scenes before you do it. Just let it happen and let it be. And then she can have the uncomfortable conversation with her mother later. Whoa, I thought you were dead. You've been around this whole time. You could have been talking, but whatever. We don't know. We don't know where that's going.
Time, Daniel, around maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, no, but good points.
So I just I was not actually as frustrated with this episode as overall. I thought there was a lot of really good moments, but I did get irritated with the whole. With the whole time crystal stuff and just the fact that they just don't seem to be able to be focused on one thing or another. But we'll see what happens, and I hope that this Red Angel stuff is it was the least interesting stuff happening in the beginning of the season. It is now still really unclear exactly what's happening. Maybe we'll get some clarification on the motives of where she showed up and why next episode. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see where we're going.
And Phillip,
I just want to know what you would call the time traveling Klingon. Is it the red? What's the devil's name? I don't even know.
Feklar?
Yes, the red Feklar.
It's
the Rojo Feklar.
The Demon of Stovacor.
That's right.
Ooh.
Which was my favorite band in high school.
It's all like horns everywhere and just looks like really menacing.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. A lot going on. Yeah, I mean it's nowhere. It's enjoyable. In as much as it is. I mean, it's not a horrible episode by any means of Star Trek Discovery, whether it's this season or the series as a whole. Again, it's just the melodrama. It's like everyone is saying, a lot of stories going on. I would just love one episode where we just breathe for a second. Where I would love every episode to be one where you breathe, but I guess we can't do that. So, but yeah, just have the whole episode be Michael and her mom, or there could be a B story, but that's just it. 2 stories. That's it. Not 7. Okay, just have an A and a B.
But there's 7 signals, Phillip. We got to tie it in somehow.
Just have Michael and her mom. And go through maybe you can bring in Spock for the familial connection. Maybe she space talks to Sarek or Amanda or whatever. Whatever. You can have that. And then B, maybe have Culber and Stamets. That'd be great. Be a great episode. We don't have to focus on every 50 million things at once. And so, yeah, I look forward to what's to come.
All right. Yes. No, lots going on, but I'm hoping that we get some good Michael and mom moments. Boom, triple alliteration. Next episode, and maybe we'll just get the same conversation 50 times over with time paradoxes. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Discovery has definitely shown that none of us know what's going to happen, for better or for worse. But Amy, where could we find you on this great World Wide Web if someone wanted to check out what you're talking about, what you're wearing, or what Kate Mulgrew is up to?
You can find me on Well, I'm at Lightstar1013, so LIGHTSTAR 1013. I recently, in the last 6 months, launched my own digital content business. I'm not updating Shoes and Starship as much because I'm really busy with clients, so you can just find me at amyimhoff.com.
Awesome. And Daniel, where could someone find you for those one-up mushrooms to save them from the planet biosphere?
Yeah, Michael needs one. So she could find me on Twitter at OneUpDan. That's the number one, not the word, as in, hey, you look like you need an extra life.
And Phillip, if someone wanted to talk about how the Doctor's shoelace became the time crystal, where would they find you?
They can learn all about going through time and space on Time and Space here on the network with myself and my wife, Jessica Nunn. And they can also find me on Twitter at NC Public Servant.
And if someone wanted to talk to me about Star Wars, because that's all I talk about, just kidding, or any other science fiction, they can find me on Twitter, Twitch, or Instagram under username Dr. Sci-Fi, DRSCIFI. I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Phillip Gilfus.
They're Prue.
I'm Amy Imhoff.
Stranded here in time.